Greetings and welcome to the Botanical Medicine study course with me, your host and instructor for the online class in all things botanical medicine. And my name is Stephanie Georgieff. At the time of the posting of this video, we are in the last week of February, Heart Health Month. So we will continue our exploration of herbal allies for the heart, motherwort. But before we get started, I want to attribute the incredible photograph for this week's Herb of the Week to Sandustephan, and this is on Pixabay. And I have a link in the program notes if you would like to donate towards or purchase this image, which I just think is stunningly beautiful. I'm always in search for good pictures of the plants I cover and have come across so many interesting sites, mostly on Wikipedia Commons or Wikimedia Commons, but there are others out there like free pick, all kinds of ones. So if you ever need some pictures for presentations, Pixabay is a delightful source. So for this week's Herb of the Week, we'll be exploring motherwort, which is also known as Leonurus cardiaca. And it's often the common English names for various plants end in the word wort, W-O-R-T, which may remind some of us of a skin lesion, but actually the word wort in Old English is the word for flower, which is obviously is more descriptive to our modern ears. I vote for changing all the warts to flower or blossom. I think Mother Blossom or St. John's Flower is more melodious. But then again, I'm not in charge of naming things, so we'll go with the common title of Motherwort. Now, the Latin binomial for motherwort is a dead giveaway in terms of what it is used for, Leonurus cardiaca. And this is motherwort, and it's an herbaceous perennial plant in the mint family, which is Laminaceae, and other common names, which I've never heard of. But anyways, these are common names, which is throwwort, lion's ear, and lion's tail. Now, here's the reason why you need to really be able to identify your plants in the wild and also when you go buy them in nurseries. And especially when you're buying the supplement, you need to have this knowledge of Latin because the lion's tail is also a common name for Leonitis leonoris and lion's ear. And this is a common name for Leonitis neptifolia. So therein lies the thing that keeps botanists up at night. Now, originally, this plant, the Leonurus cardiaca, came from Central Asia and Southeastern Europe, but it's now found worldwide, and mainly because it's been taken all over the place because of its use as an herbal remedy. As I said before, it's in the mint family, which is called Laminaceae, and this is quite ubiquitous. This family is everywhere. And the quality of this family is that most of the members are used in herbal remedies. They're all medicinal, which I think is really interesting. And these are also high in essential oils, which means they're very aromatic. They smell lovely. And the scents are lovely. I don't know if the plants smell. But they're also very warming. And the structure of this plant is like most in the mint family. They have a squarish stem and opposing leaves. And it's just a lovely plant. So if you see it in the wild, looks a little bit kind of like foxglove, but not really. It's a little more hairy than foxglove. Now, the herbal action of motherwort is it's a nervine, which means it acts on the nervous system and mostly to calm it down. It's an emmenagogue, which means it helps enhance menstruation. It's an antispasmodic. It's good for the liver, which means it's the fancy word for that is hepatic. It makes the liver do what it's supposed to do. It's also a cardiotonic, which basically means it's very nourishing for the heart. And it's also a hypotensive, which means it helps lower blood pressure. So this is why it's so good for the heart. And the last but not least quality of this, it's a diaphoretic, which means it makes you sweat, which means it's really good for fevers. Now, motherwort, Leonurus, is very good for all sorts of gynecological issues, such as delayed or irregular menstruation. And this is why it's contraindicated in pregnancy, and there are certain states in the United States, if you drink this tea, you could be put in jail. So this is very serious these days. So definitely don't do this in pregnancy. But it's very good postpartum for excessive vaginal discharge and bleeding. Now, since it's Heart Health Month, this is an important remedy for your heart, but it's also really interesting. Is a study that came out in the early 2000s showed they're always, people who have heart attacks, obviously you want to prevent a second one. And a lot of times the second heart attack is the fatal one. And so physicians and researchers are obviously very dedicated to their art, and they want to make sure, how do we prevent this second heart attack? And what they found was a leading cause of a fatal second heart attack was untreated depression, and particularly in women. So that's why physicians are now making sure that people are not depressed. And if they are, to either get into counseling or go on appropriate pharmaceuticals or however you want to deal with the depression. And that's what's wonderful about motherwort is that it's very good for treating melancholy. In fact, in that famous 17th century Culpeper's Herbal, he said that it's a wonderful herb to treat melancholy. So this is a wonderful post-heart attack remedy. Or if you are prone to depression, which newer studies are showing that people are depressed, it affects their heart. So this is a good one to do. It's also really good for insomnia and also for fevers. Now, excuse me. And then this is another amazing diagram, an image from Science Direct. So this shows what's in there. And I would love to be in the lab when the chemists are discovering all this stuff. I just think it's really interesting. So this shows all the different chemicals in Leonurus that help your heart. It's amazing. And there's flavonoids, and it's just amazing. It's just absolutely amazing that this is in that beautiful plant. So here's another wonderful gift to us from Science Direct. Now, in Chinese medicine, it's a different member of the Leonurus family. It's called Leonoroheterophyllae. And you can see the comparison of the plant in the little box with the background. The leaves are a little bit different. And that's what it looks like dried. That's how you get it in a Chinese herbal pharmacy. And Yimu Cao is the name, and Cao is basically herb plant. And what's lovely about this, and it shows the connection between all the plants, is the English translation of Yimu Cao is benefit mother herb. And it's spicy, bitter, slightly cold, It enters the heart, liver, and bladder. And if you know the function of these organs, it's so interesting that the European variety does all these things, right? It helps, it's, diuretic, it helps the heart, it's also good for the liver. Now, it invigorates blood. And when you do that in Chinese medicine, any type of stagnation, that's what they call it, stagnation of qi or phlegm, blood, it usually results in some sort of pain or mass. So if it invigorates blood, it dissipates masses. And so this is used for things like uterine fibroids and also fibrotic breast issues. It regulates the menses, which means it's used for all sorts of gynecological issues, such as irregular menstruation, infertility. A problem with infertility actually is women who have very irregular menstrual cycles. Their ovulation is all over the place. And so if you can get this cycle to be more regular, then you can, time your fertilization, as they say. It's also used in Chinese medicine for postpartum bleeding. It's also used as a diuretic, and it's very good for edema. Okay. And we also do not want to use this during pregnancy, especially in certain states or any pregnancy. I mean, most people who get pregnant want to keep their pregnancies, and you don't want to harm the pregnancy. So do not use this while you're pregnant. Now, one of the best ways to take motherwort is through a tea. And to me, it's very herby tasting. It's also available in capsule form, and it's tinctures, and also as essential oil. The only caution is, as I said before, to not take if you're pregnant. And the research that's available says it's safe if you take it daily for up to 1 month. The only negative side effects that have been documented are stomach upset and diarrhea. So if you have these issues, stop taking it. And this is also a wonderful reason to get a sample before investing in the supplement. So you take your sample, and if you get diarrhea and you feel sick at your stomach, then don't buy the supplement. I always suggest in long-term use of herbs, and I also do this in my own health, if you're needing to take something for a good long while, take a break for a week or so, and then start taking it again. You may find you don't need to take the herb anymore. Let's say you're having trouble sleeping and you're taking some remedy to help with that, dealing with the underlying reason of not sleeping, and you take this herb for a couple months, you're sleeping fine, and then you stop taking the herb and you're still sleeping very well, so you don't need to take it anymore. But let's say you stop, your insomnia comes back. Obviously, you still need the herb, but it's also a good idea to get a full workup, by a licensed healthcare practitioner to make sure you're not missing something in your health. Now, the essential oil is also wonderful in baths as well as massage oils, specifically for postpartum moms. I would certainly put this in a bath and a massage oil if you've suffered a heart attack. Kind of a nice way to get the herb into you. But for new moms, this is a wonderful abdominal massage oil. Now, because motherwort is from the mint family, it's a wonderful and easy plant to grow in your garden. It's also suitable for container gardens or pots. Some gardeners suggest using it to plant it wherever you have space because it likes both shade and sun. You should be able to get this at a local nursery. Just make sure you're getting what you want. Leonurus cardiaca, motherwort. I've seen it for sale on Amazon, but obviously you need to be in a certain area for them to deliver it to you. but the seeds are widely available. I have a link in the program notes on how to grow motherwort. So however you want to incorporate this beautiful plant here, that's this picture again is from Pixabay by Sandustephan. I hope you come to appreciate this amazing plant and what it has to offer us humans in terms of our health and just appreciation of beauty. So make sure to check out the links in the program notes. And until next time, be well.